I'd like to call the meeting of the Lee County Board of Education to order. I want to welcome everybody here tonight, the press corps and the representative from Fort Bragg and everyone else. I want to welcome you. You are a special guest. Thank you for coming here tonight. At this time, we will have a moment of silent prayer, if you want. In Christ's name, amen. At this time, we'll stand to say the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. At this time, we'll have a public comment, and I will ask Dr. Brian to help us keep the time. The first person is Lisa Reagan. Miss Reagan, can you come forward?
And Ms. Reagan, just a reminder, 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
First thing I want to say is the decision of the chairman last month to not allow me to speak public comments concerning this board's misuse of a consent agenda for the board attorney's contract for over $100,000 of Lee County citizens' tax-paying money is considered by me to be a hostile act. Next, I am still waiting. There's an unfinished business with Mr. Andy Bryan, according to our third meeting on May the 30th, that we would continue taking actions for constitutional training of school-paid employees within 3 weeks of that date, as to give the district time to prioritize for graduation and give Mr. Love time to come up with the training. Still waiting on that meeting. The next one I'm still waiting for. Everybody is aware. I know everybody's aware because I've personally sent it to everybody's email of the letter that Mr. Love has given me denying my grievance that I have placed. So, since he says that following your policy is substandard, I have sent a message back requesting that I want full, I want whatever it is, whatever format y'all will accept, I want that in writing specifically, because following the policy, like I said in the manual, Mr. Love said y'all shouldn't accept my grievance, and that is appalling to me. And then pretty much the rest of it can be worked out later. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Reagan. This time we want Lee Stubbs.
Good evening. My name is Lee Stubbs, and I am the custodial parent and maternal grandmother of J.S. that was referenced in the recent due process ruling and appeal that was emailed to each one of you. After doing that, I became very concerned because only one board member spoke back to me and to tell me how concerned she was over this issue. My grandson was diagnosed with moderate to severe dyslexia in 2015. And I'll emphasize 2015. He is not cognitively impaired. He is actually a very bright child. And I'm surprised that none of you are concerned once you found out that there was a lawsuit and then an appeal, even once questioned or reached out, how much money is this costing? Well, and then I started getting concerned when we did a public records request. Nobody was concerned to talk to me. Well, as elected officials of the Lee County Board of Education, I would like to inform you that the school system district has already paid a minimum of $333,000 to keep from teaching a child with moderately to severe dyslexia. How many more children are going to be affected before somebody wants to talk? Dyslexia affects 1 in 5 to some degree, and that's not that is research. And it's not over, folks. A federal appeal was filed yesterday, August 13th, because the school system continues to fight me. And they've won the first 2 rulings, and they continue to fight. So as I say, the federal appeal was filed yesterday. I wonder now how many classrooms are going to go without school supplies, teachers' aides, for a county that is already strapped for funds when this much money the minimum was spent. I am ready, willing, and able to speak to you regarding this matter, whether it's as a group or individually. And as elected officials of this board, I would expect each and every one of you to do so. It does take a village, but it's got to be more than written words on a yellow legal pad or print in a newspaper. It's going to take appropriate, timely actions behind those words to make an improvement and move forward for the education of the children in Lee County. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Sutton, Pam Sutton.
My name is Pam Sutton, and my address is 2002 North Shoreline Drive here in Sanford. All members of the public who come to the board meeting to share their ideas or concerns deserve respect. Most people are very uncomfortable when they are in such a position, and it takes a lot of courage for them to come out and approach the board with an issue. It can especially be difficult for working parents to rearrange their schedule so that they can appear before the board and express their concerns. According to the information that's posted on the Lee County webpage, all regular board meetings begin at 6 o'clock p.m. in the Board of Education chambers located in the core curriculum building on the Lee County High School campus. Sign up to speak to the board at regular meeting begins 30 minutes prior to the meeting. Nowhere is it mentioned in a format that is understandable to the public that sign up for public comment must occur 5 minutes before the start of the meeting, or that members of the public are allowed to call ahead to add their name to the sign-up sheet for public comment. During the July 10, 2018 board meeting, a parent came to sign up for public comment at 5:56 p.m. and was denied the right to address the board, even though she explained that she was a working single parent who had to rearrange her schedule to come to the meeting and share her concerns. The chair denied the opportunity for her to speak due to her being less than a minute late to sign up for public comment, although he could have made a concession to allow her 3 minutes to address the board. No one else had signed up for public comment. The meeting lasted 29 minutes before going into closed session. This parent could easily have been afforded the right to speak and have her voice heard. In contrast, during the April 10, 2018 board meeting, Amy Dalrymple, chair of the Lee County Commissioners, was allowed to call in to sign up for public comment without being physically present to sign up to speak. She arrived to address the board over 12 minutes after the start of the meeting and was allowed to walk straight into the meeting, come directly to the podium, and speak in her own words as a parent to address the board. Where's the equity in these situations? Why are the procedures for addressing the board so vague on the Lee County Schools website? Why is one parent not allowed to address the board when she arrives at 5:56 p.m., less than a minute late to sign up for public comment and still before the meeting starts, while a different parent who happens to be the chair of the county commissioners is allowed to call in to sign up, then arrive over 12 minutes late for the meeting and yet given the opportunity to speak? Where is the consistency in enforcing policy and procedures equally to all parents without giving what appears to be special treatment to some parents, but not to all? Thank you for your time and your attention this evening.
Tim Blodgett.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tim Blodgett. I'm a retired Marine. local small business owner here in the community. I'm the director of coaching for Sanford Area Soccer League. I'm also an academy coach here locally for Stanley Soccer Academy, and I'm the general manager of Stanley Football Club. Stanley Football Club started about 8 months ago with about 87 local youths between 17 and 25. Our whole motto is trying to pave the path to the next generation. It's a semi-professional team. We've approached the local school systems, both the high schools, as far as utilizing their fields to hopefully facilitate our matches. We have all of our own staff. It would require no money or any labor really from the board, just the simple use of the facilities. It would also be an income earner for whatever high school it was that was able to facilitate it. We would donate all the money made in concessions directly to the school, just for our appreciation. It's a really great opportunity to have a semi-professional program here locally for these kids to have something to strive towards. Soccer is grown by the numbers. Just here in the community, we have over 3,000 people, that's youth and adult, that play soccer, which is a huge number. That's basically all I have. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, we have concluded the public comment, and we will go to the vision of Lee County School and the policy for the Code of Ethics.
Lee County Schools, in partnership with the community, will provide challenging learning experiences for students in a safe and supportive environment. We are committed to academic excellence, technological innovations, social responsibility, and lifelong learning. Our success will be demonstrated by the achievement of our students and their positive participation in society.
The Code of Ethics for school board members. The board recognizes that collectively and individually, all members of the board must adhere to an accepted board of ethics in order to improve public education. Members of the Lee County Board of Education should avoid conflicts of interest and appearance of conflicts of interest as we handle the work of the board. We must avoid the solicitation and or acceptance of gifts in return for advice or assistance on matters concerning the operation of the business of the board. We must avoid the misuse of public funds. We must avoid misrepresentation or falsification of facts, and we must avoid making confidential information public.
Thank you. At this time, I want a motion for the approval of the agenda of 8/14, 2018.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the agenda for 8/14/2018.
We need a
Second.
second. We have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The motion is approved. We need the approval of minutes of 7:10, 7:23, 7:30, and 7:31.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion we approve the minutes of July 10th, July 23rd, July 30th, and July 31st, 2018.
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Thank you. At this time, we have the announcement and reports, the chairman's report. Last month, we voted to send Dr. Smith to Raleigh to be on the state legislative committee for the School Board Association, and fortunately, they approved him to go. So we want to congratulate Dr. Smith for being on the legislative committee to go and speak to the legislators on behalf of the school board. So let's give him a hand.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. At this time, also, I want to tell us that we got a letter from the School Board Association for vacancy for a directorship of the School Board Association for Region 3. We want any of our board members who is interested in participating or being sent can take out the application and just fill it, and then we can vote on it. It's not due until October 5th. So you have a month to let us know, and the school have to recommend you. So I think in our September meeting, we will be able to vote on it and send your name out to the School Board Association. We can't control whether they will approve you or not, but we will just, everybody can try. So the last thing on my agenda is we have so much things that's been going on. I remember we went to Project Lift Up with Dr. Waller and all of the staff what they were doing. It's wonderful to just see those kids' spirit lifted, and they were just enjoying the summer. Also, I want to announce to us that we have the convocation for Lee County School on August 21st at 8:45 a.m. in the morning. So everyone is welcome to come and enjoy our teachers and have a convocation there. And you can't beat the spirit. It's a good spirit to start the school year. So it's a wonderful time and wonderful experience if you can join with us on that day. So that concludes my agenda report. I will call on the superintendent reports at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just real brief tonight. Still in the summer mode with Clean School and also with Superintendent's Extra Effort Award. Accountability update. Test scores will be released on September 5th by the state officially. And I will make sure that you get the information you need prior to that release for that information. The other thing I would like to mention, Mr. Chair, is at the Chamber Policy meeting this past week, had 3 students, Brandon Ramirez, Austin Johns, and Neil Bullard, who I asked to come and speak to talk a little bit about the opportunities available for students in Lee County schools. They did a great job, very proud of them, and I think the crowd walked away very impressed. And what I think most people were impressed by, I know several of you were there, the poise of the students and what they had to say about their experiences in our schools and the accomplishments they had as they're moving forward, and have very bright futures ahead for those students. So very proud of them. So I'm very appreciative they were willing to come and speak. That concludes my report.
I want to say also about that the presentation of those students were excellent. You can't ask for better presenters than those kids, and very proud of them. I didn't want to make a comment on that because I don't want to steal it from the superintendent, so I let him because he brought them on, so I don't want to comment on that. So it's just wonderful. That's part of what our school system does. And thank you, board members that came. We appreciate you. At this time, I will want a committee report. CNI.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We did not meet,
Okay.
and so I would like to comment on the policy luncheon as well, that I thought it was wonderful. And I do want to do a point of marketing, is that our publicity is that Brandon Ramirez, he is now the national president for Skills USA. And so I think that's wonderful coming out of the Lee County school system, that we have a national president representing all the schools throughout the entire United States. That's affected, that's part of the Skills USA. So his name is Brandon Ramirez, and he's a student here at Lee County High School. So if you do see him, please congratulate him, because we're very proud of him. That ends my report.
Thank you. At this time, we'll go to the Facility and Technology report.
Mr. Chairman, the Facilities and Technology Committee has not met since our last meeting. Our next meeting will be at 4 o'clock on the 28th of August.
While you're still on that, you can give us the finance too.
The Finance Committee is going to sound like we haven't done much this month. I apologize. The Finance Committee has not met either. Our next meeting will also be on the 28th of August at 5 p.m.
Yeah, we know this is summertime, so people are still just getting back. At this time, we'll ask Ms. Bowen to give us the policy.
Mr. Chair, the Policy Committee did not meet last month since our last meeting. However, our next meeting is scheduled for next week, August 21st at 5 o'clock. And if I could just have a point of personal preference or personal privilege. I registered for the webinars. I know we all get the emails about the different webinars that are available from the School Boards Association. And I asked Susan to register me for 3, and my understanding is we can share those. Once one person pays for it, any of us can take those at one price. So if anybody wants those logins, I know Tuesday the 21st, I'm doing one on free speech in the schools. On Thursday the 23rd, on religion in the schools. and on Friday the 24th on bullying in the schools. And these are going to look at the legal bases for these, and they're probably, I'm guessing, going to have something to do with the policy influx we're going to get in about a month. So if anyone else is willing to tune in, Susan will have those logins, and we can share, and it's one price. Anybody can have it. And that's across the district, so if there's a leader that would need it.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
may I say this? She's correct that you can share, but board members, there is a $10 fee.
For the
board
credit.
members to
That's right.
register and get credit, so they do need to come through me, so I can get you access.
That's correct.
to the pool.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
clarify that.
Yeah, that is good. That's
But-
well, I know you have to pay something, but that's
Right,
good.
it's the $10 for our board
Yes.
credit, that's correct. But
Yes.
the big price for the actual webinar is covered, it's a one-time deal.
You know what
So-
she's trying to do? She's trying to get others to share the price with her.
No, that's not it. I know it's hard. The check has been paid. All I'm saying is it's an opportunity for us to get the training at limited cost, and I have a sneaking suspicion that when the policies come out next month, we're going to see a lot of these type of issues in it. So
Sandra was just kidding you.
absolutely, I understand. And that concludes my not quite policy report.
That's all right. It's a policy report. At this time, we will want to vote on the consent agenda.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Everyone in favor say aye.
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 The consent agenda is approved.
Excuse me.
Dr. Bryan, we have the CIP committee last week. Last time you said you were coming back to talk to us, so I will call on Dr. Carol Chappell and Angel Mills to come forward and talk to us about unconcluded business we have. Before these ladies talk, during our retreat, they really gave us a very good overview and intense report, clear report of where we are. I want you to continue to whet our appetites with what you have to offer this evening.
Good evening, everyone. We're glad to come before you. This is a very important part of our planning process is how we use our funding, particularly our federal funding. And that's what we're going to be looking at tonight. We'll be looking at Title I, Title II, Title III, and Title IV federal funding and asking for approval of our grant. This is through DPI. The Title I funding is used in the elementary schools. All the elementary schools are Title I schools, and we get about $2.5 million a year. Most of that does go to the directly to the schools. There's some that is set aside at the central office, but it's mainly used for tutors and salaries of literacy teachers and salaries of assistants and salaries for the various people that might be hired under contract to do professional development. And also we do get technology with it and books and materials and other types of things like that. All of it is supplemental. It's all on top of what they would normally get from the state and local funding. The Title II, we use most of that to pay for extra teachers in the classroom to reduce class size. It also pays for our beginning teacher program and the person that oversees that, Patricia Coldren. And so it's $311,000 this year, so it's much smaller than Title I. And then we have this is a grant that was new last year. It is student support and enrichment. That's $181,000 this year. And we use that for a variety of things to enrich students. One of the things is we have a partnership with, was with Carolyn Spivey. Of course, she's not with the coalition anymore, but with the coalition to provide someone to do a teen pregnancy program. the high school level. And then some of you might have heard about a 5th grade STEM program that we had last year once a month. It was just great program. The kids loved it, and we had very good attendance of that. One of the high school teachers came down, and a couple of them, I think, worked with that. And this money was used for that because that's enrichment. So just various things for Title I, Title II, and Title IV. Something that we're going to try new this year for Title I is going to be called a head teachers program. We're going to use some of the funding to pay some of the classroom teachers to be a head teacher or representative from their school and their grade level to come together across the district and try to work together to learn new ideas. There will be a liaison, and they will also help make decisions across the district. It's sort of a way to get something along the lines of lead teacher concept, but not having them actually come out of the classroom. So I'll let you know as the year goes on. If you hear about head teachers, that's what that is, and we'll see how it goes along. But we're going to let teachers who may want some extra support, they can request that from this group. And this group would actually go in, some people from it, and, you know, try to help with planning or share some of their own materials, or maybe make a video and let them see how they teach certain things. So it will be one more way to get help to the teachers. We do have one of our private schools, Lee Christian, is participating for the first time that I know of that they've ever participated in a federal grant other than like with EC. And they are participating in Title II, and Patricia Coldren is going to be going there on Friday. They asked for training in technology. They have new Chromebooks for all of their upper level students and the teachers, and they want teacher training. So Lee County Schools is going to be going to Lee Christian and do some teacher training on Friday. So I think that's a great outreach and opportunity, and there'll be some follow-up training with that as the year goes on. So if you see some teachers out at Lee Christian, some of our folks know that it's part of Title II.
Okay.
Angel's going to talk to you about Title III.
So I have
That's
Title
one.
III.
That's wonderful.
A bit higher. I have Title III, as you guys know, that's part of the English as a Second Language program, and the funds that we get are about $145,000 for this year, so not quite as much as what the other title federal grants get, but we definitely make the most of the money that we receive and that we request. So from that main Title III fund, from the main Title III fund of PRSA 104, we are getting a English Learners Instructional Facilitator, which is a type of lead teacher. We're continuing to employ her. We've got 2 tutors coming out of there to go and support students within the classroom and during the after-school hours. And we also have a part-time parent coordinator that we're trying to use that money for, so we can get that connection between the community, the schools, the parents, and the students who may have a difficult time doing that because of the language barrier. We also have another Title III fund called PRC 111, which is your significant increase in immigrants, which we have experienced over the past several years. So they give us a little bit of money for that. It's about $5,000 more or less. And with that money, we're going to reemploy another immigrant success coach, and we're going to kind of expand that idea. Last year, the success coach worked mostly with the parents and the teachers and doing homeschool communication. This year, they'll be doing that, plus going into the homes and providing tutoring there, because it's often very difficult for new immigrants to get to the school to get that type of support. We had a lot of success this summer. We got a little bit of migrant money for a little summer grant, and we had a lot of success doing that this summer within the migrant program. So we thought, let's try to replicate that throughout the year with the immigrant program. And that's, other than professional development costs and things like that, that's pretty much how we spend out our Title III grants.
So, Dr. Bryan, do we need a motion? We need a motion to approve Title I, Title II, and Title III money that grants that we have. Yes.
Mr. Chair, I move the Lee County Board of Education approve the 2018-2019 Lee County Comprehensive Continuous Improvement Plan.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion is approved. Thank you. At this time, we will move to closed session. I will ask Mrs. Womack.
Mr. Chair, I move that the Lee County Board of Education go into closed session for the purpose of discussing information that is privileged, confidential, or not a public record in the North Carolina General Statute, Section 143, 318, 11A1.
Thank you.
Second.
We need a second?
Second.
Okay, we are in closed session now. At this time, we'll come out of closed session. Need a motion to approve the personnel
Mr. Chair.
and transfers. Yes.
Go ahead.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion we approve the one-year contracts as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion we approve the personnel report as presented.
Okay.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
At this time, we
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
motion is approved.